Listen, if it's one thing that I'm pretty sure we're all aware of is that life is out here moving fast, okay? It's a lot going on. We got society telling us what we should be doing, we should be, all while we're still trying to figure ourselves out. But you know what we can do? We can be mindful of where we are in this present moment and take small steps towards becoming better by the day and towards reaching our God-given purpose. So let's figure it out and work through it together. Welcome to Mindful Moments, y'all. A space where we talk it out, laugh it out, cry it out, hash it out. Listen, just get it all out, okay? This is a safe space for you, where we talk about the ups, the downs, even the in-betweens. A place where we go through it so we can grow through it. Tune in every week as we fill our minds with who we're destined to be, with positivity, with awareness, and honestly, just with love. So I encourage you, let's be mindful of today in hopes for, yes, a better you, but also in hopes for a better tomorrow. Again, welcome to Mindful Moments. Welcome back to another episode of Mindful Moments. I am your lovely host, Jada Lowe. If this is your first time listening or watching on YouTube, thank you for stopping by. I hope you stay. I hope you save. I hope you like. I hope you subscribe. All of that good stuff. And if you're back, if you a regular, if you're back, hey, I'm back. You back. I'm back. I'm here. You here. We here together. Listen, y'all, it's been a minute. It's been a minute again. It's been a lot of minutes. It's been a lot of minutes taken, a lot of hiatuses taken this year. But y'all, I thank y'all for bearing with me. Just make, hear me out. Make like a grizzly and bear with me. I couldn't help it. It was there, so I had to shoot, make the shot. Okay. We're going to do a mid-year check-in. I know that I did one in an episode for 2023, but I'm going to be honest. You can never have too many mid-year check-ins. We got to check in with each other. We got to check in with ourselves. We got to check in with each other, on our people, all of that. So we're just going to kind of like maneuver through what 2024 has brought, what expectations were met, which ones still need to be met, which ones didn't get met, and just how to move through that. It's halftime, baby. Halftime of 2024. For me, the first half it's been a little bit of everywhere, but I guess you could say in a good sense. I've gotten a lot of things that I've gotten accomplished, but like honestly, podcasting hasn't been one of those things. I haven't been anywhere near consistent as I'd like to be. I've been posting here and there as far as like segments, reels, all that good stuff, all of that jazz. But it's like I've told y'all in the past, it's not something that I want to ever neglect, but getting around maybe May or June, I honestly felt like I was neglecting it. I felt like I wasn't putting in enough effort to plan. I just felt like in this area, I wasn't being intentional. When I'm working as far as like media and like multimedia stuff, I feel like I'm making headway with that. But I noticed that just throughout the first half of this year, the intentionality, it kind of just, it replaced in certain aspects, or it went more towards a different work area than like podcasting / work / passion. Content, like my gym stuff and content, has still been going good, and like work has still been going good. But I love talking to y'all, even though y'all can't really see me doing this, but I mean, well, technically, neither here nor there. I love podcasting, and I love talking to y'all and interacting with y'all through Reels, YouTube, and just like hearing what y'all have to say and your feedback and stuff. And so I miss that, but it's been hard, if I have to be honest. It's been hard being intentional in this area, especially, I'm gonna be honest, when I record episodes at a time, and like, let's say I record 4 episodes in January, I may not record until a few months or a couple months later, or whenever all those episodes air. And so it's like that. I don't think I want to keep doing that, because first of all, there's no routine for it. So even if I do like pre-record there's a way to plan out pre-recordings. And even if I record like on the spot, there's a way to plan that out. I just need to be more intentional in planning things out in this area. And I wouldn't consider it a mundane task, but sometimes when I know like it's, I commend the people that like plan. Granted, I'm a planner too, but I've noticed some areas when I know that I have to plan it, I put it off or I procrastinate on it. So I just got to do it. I just have to. Jada needs to buckle down. Point blank. Period. Jada needs to buckle down. For the remaining half of this year, I really want to do a better job of just planning. Just planning and abiding by the plan. It's one thing to have a routine. You can say you're going to get up at this time. You can say you're going to plan for this and this and this. But it's another thing to write it down and to actually execute it. And I'm good. If it's one thing I'm good at, baby, I'm going to set a reminder. And I'm good at abiding by 95% of my reminders. But I also do remind me in 1 hour, remind me this afternoon, remind me tonight. And tonight turns into now we at the weekend. So it's like, what are we doing? So I just want to do, sometimes I get scatterbrained when it comes to the different things that I'm good at and want to do. And I just have to I need to recalibrate. So that's what I'm trying to do for this month. Like I wrote down, okay, this is what I did good the first half of the year. And these are the things that I can do better. And these are the things that I want to also do, for the last half of the year. And in hopes that the things that have been successful in the first half of the year and the things that will be successful and the things just learned from throughout the whole year, of course, progresses on to the years to come. So that's how the first half of my year is going. I really have, I don't have any complaints. I feel like I'm in a waiting season for one, which has been interesting. So I've just been prayerful over that. And I've been working. It's so funny when people ask you what you're up to, and I'm like, I wake up, go to the gym, and I come home and I work. Whether it's working on content, working on work stuff, media stuff, or I said podcasting, but I can't really say that to the fullest extent. Or if it's doing work and editing and stuff for other people, that's really what my day encompasses. So yeah, another thing I want to do the remaining half of this year too, I want to learn some new hobbies. I want to take a little pasta cooking class or make a little bouquet of flowers or something. I don't know. I just want to, I said for year 26 that I wanted to explore some hobbies to regularly do. That's my spiel. That's how the first half of my 2024 has gone. And honestly, it's been good. Overall, I'd give it a good 8. I give it a good 8.5. I really don't have any complaints. I'm just trying to be patient and diligent. And there are areas that I could be honestly more diligent in, to be truthful. But I've learned that, every step counts and every effort matters. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, pivot. But yeah, the importance of a mid-year check-in. So why is all of this important? I feel like, and just the type of person I am and the type of person I've grown to become, it's hard. I have to check in with myself. If I don't check in with myself, I am running around like a chicken with my head cut off. I have to check in. And it's more like an internal thing. It just helps me to assess where I am and where I want to be. And I feel like checking in with yourself too, it gives you the opportunity to see the things that you've accomplished. Sometimes we can get so discouraged with seeing where we need to go and how far we have until we get to something, or even how other people have gotten to certain heights and places and certain levels of success. Let's just talk about this year that you've seen in this year, where you have to check in with yourself to say, hey, yeah, these other people are doing it, but I'm doing the doggone thing too. Take a minute, y'all, to really just sit. I don't care if it's something small. Just take a minute to just sit and be like, I did that. That might have been small, but I did that the first half of this year. Or that may have, while it didn't work out how I wanted it to work out, it ended up being something better, or it ended up being something that I could learn from, or both. Like, acknowledge what you've done this year. Acknowledge the steps you've taken. I don't care if that step was getting up out the bed. I don't care if that step was going outside and getting some sunlight. I don't care if that step was getting back in the gym after 10 years. And I'm gonna need you to stay in there. But I don't care what it is. That's progress. That is a step in the right direction. We have to stop, and I have to tell myself this too, and it's something that I'm working on mentally. Like, stop downplaying what you've done. Stop downplaying what you're doing, and stop that, because if you're saying you want to get to these big places, or if you're just saying that you have things you want to do, things that you need to accomplish, if these things are getting you there, whether on a small or big scale, then clearly it means something. So act like it means something and give yourself a little pat on the back. Take yourself out to eat, a little 10-piece, 15. Let me get a 15-piece, all flat, hot lemon pepper. I'm sorry, TikTok was in my brain. But yeah, like, acknowledge it. Acknowledge it. And that'll help you. For one, I feel like that'll take some of the weight off of you, and it'll encourage you for the days to come. And I believe it lightens the load of seeing the things that didn't work out. Like, things will not work out. It's life, yada, 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 whoa. Things just simply don't always work out. And that is okay. How are you going to bounce back from what didn't work out? How are you going to pivot from the things that didn't work out from January to June? We're in July, August. How are you going to pivot from what didn't work out? You going to mope about it for the rest of the year? You going to mope about it until Christmas? You going to mope about it until New Year's Eve? We have no time for that. We have no time to be moping and pouting. Yes, there will be times when you will get discouraged, but you have more than what you need inside of you to keep pushing. God didn't wake you up for you to be like, oh, that didn't work out. No, he woke you up to be like, okay, what we need to do? What do we need to do? I've got a step I need to take. What is it? So that's my spiel. And it's just crucial to just pause and take a minute to check in with yourself. I feel like the time that we're living in now, and I hate to say, especially with social media, but social media has really while it's good, it's also created this grind and rushing mentality to where I believe a check-in is just needed, and not just a mid-year check-in, not just a halfway point, but like check-ins within the day, check-ins within the week, like multiple check-ins, because we're in such a do this, rush. I gotta get here. And it's like, stop and breathe and just take inventory of where you are. And I just advise y'all to like set some goals. But before we do that, be happy about the things that didn't work out, because it didn't work out for a reason. Whether it was for you to learn something new about yourself, whether it was for you to learn how to pivot, whether it just simply wasn't something that was for you. Take inventory of the things that didn't work out too, because it didn't work out for a reason. And sometimes things don't work out so that it can produce the things that need to be produced in you. It didn't work out for a reason, whether it was a relationship, whether it was a job, whether it was the fact that when you were in the Chick-fil-A line, even though Chick-fil-A would never do that, and you got an 8 count, but they gave you 7, but you were just talking about how you didn't want your back to spread from Europe to South America. So you probably do just need them 7 chicken nuggets. It'll make you a better you. The premise of that is it didn't work out for a reason. Stop smacking your teeth and be like, oh, this didn't work out. Granted, in the moment, sometimes it feels like that. And you know what? I'm not even going to sit up on my high horse and tell you not to do that, because I'm the one that smacks my teeth and say that when it doesn't work out for me. But it's like, what good is it going to do me to keep sitting there thinking about how it didn't work out? I'm wasting time, withering away, because I'm over here moping about what didn't work out. And you know what? I just thought about it. My therapist sent me she gave me a scripture, and it was, as I'm looking it up on my handy dandy MacBook. It was Isaiah 43:18 through 19. How about we just go, because I got it saved in my phone. But I believe that can help somebody. So let's see. NLT, Bible's so real, man. But forget all that. It is nothing compared to what I am going to do. For I am about to do something new. See, I have already begun. Do you not see it? I will make a pathway through the wilderness. I will create slow down. I will create rivers in dry wasteland. And I'm gonna let that stay right there. Let that sizzle on your spirit. And it's just like, you have so much in store for you. And so the purpose, my main thing of what I want to say about this is, when you're taking that inventory, take inventory of what's happened so far this year. Acknowledge the good and the bad. The good is getting you to where you need to be, and the bad is getting you to where you need to be. Take inventory, eat the meat, spit out the bones, and set some goals for yourself. What are some things that you want to do, and what are the things that you've accomplished that you kind of tested the waters, and now you see that you can accomplish it on a bigger scale? What are some more maybe risks you could take? Can you take some bigger risks? Can you take some smaller risks? Can you take some more scaled risks? So just be accountable. Don't look at January through June and just be like, oh, all of this everything was fine. No, like, hold yourself accountable and be like, this is where you won't get anywhere being dishonest with yourself. Say, this is what I did good, and this is what I did bad, and this is what I did terrible. I fell off the wagon right here. Like I told y'all, I've fallen off the wagon podcasting. I literally had so many reminders set to plan, to write out outlines and stuff, and to just like do like brain dumps of what I was going to be talking to y'all about. And every time it came up, every week or every month it came up, I was like, remind me later, remind me later, remind me later. So what good is it going to do me to say, oh yeah, I've been so like lying to myself and not being honest? If I say, oh yeah, like I recorded all of these. Yeah, girl, you haven't sat in front of this camera in weeks. Like, stop, be honest with yourself and hold yourself accountable. When you check in, and I'll even advise y'all to like write it down, whether it's the notes in your phone or like journaling or just like writing it down, period. Like, write out. It's important for you to tangibly see what you did and what you didn't do. That way you can know how to pivot and where to move from there. And I just want y'all to stay motivated. Like, celebrate the small wins, because that's motivating too, and it just helps in general. Even if the win was just you showed up and you tried. Do y'all not realize the bandwidth it takes to show up and try? A few examples. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't feel like recording today, but I'm here and I'm trying. And when you show up and try, you end up doing. People don't feel like going to the gym every day. You show up and you try. People don't feel like getting up every day. You show up and you try. People don't feel like I know people don't feel like going to work every day. You show up and you try. And with yourself, in relationships, in your career, with your passions, with your dreams, in everything. For everybody that got up and showed up and tried today, I'm extremely proud of you. It takes a lot. And I'm not just talking about on the days where you want to. I'm talking about when you don't want to also, and you just show up and try. I commend you. And thank you for showing up and trying. It's not easy. Checking in is not easy, because you have to sit with yourself, and it's a moment of reflection to reflect on, yes, what you did good, but also taking it to the chin with the stuff that you didn't do good. But keep showing up, because you owe it to yourself to take that moment of assessment so you can be better, so you can be more mindful, so you can be a better person. And one thing that I want to mention too, that I didn't really touch on is like, well, what if Nothing changed from the beginning of the year. Like, what if all these goals I have set, like, what if I'm still in the same place? That's the point of the check-in. And that is okay. That is completely okay. You change, your goals change, you evolve, your goals evolve. That is okay. Now, don't stay there. Don't stay there at all. If the things that you've or even if like the goals that you set at the beginning of the year, if you plan to like have a goal, have it accomplished, boom, have another goal, have it accomplished, but you're still on that first thing that you're trying to chip away at, that's okay. That is completely okay. Ask yourself too, like, excuse me, what, because sometimes I feel like when we set a goal, we feel like we have to, even if it's like a small goal, we feel like we have to accomplish it in this big magnitude. Sometimes look at it and see, okay, well, what did I chip away at in a certain aspect? Even though it's not completely accomplished, what have I chipped away at to where it's, even if it's an incy dash, a little sprinkle, a little salt-based sprinkle of getting there. See what that was. And if not, you can change your goals. The world won't stop orbiting on its axis if you change your goals. It's okay. it is okay. It's completely okay. And that's the point of checking in too, like to assess, okay, is this something that still like aligns with where I want to go? Is this something that still aligns with me? Was I making this goal because somebody else made it? That's another episode. Stop. Be nice. Stop making goals and stop setting out to do things because other people think it's good for you, because other people advise you to do it, or because you see somebody else doing it. Granted, there will be times where people will advise you to do things, but make sure you're taking the time out to make sure it's like wise advice and not foolishness. Okay? Just wanted to say that too. But yeah, overall, this episode was just for me to check in with y'all and to just encourage y'all, like, acknowledge how far you've come, acknowledge where you're going, be proud of where you're going, look at the stuff that you didn't do good at, take accountability, write it down, be grateful for being here. If you showed up and tried, that's great. Acknowledge the small and the big and the small and the big. What? Acknowledge the big and the small, and just be grateful for where you are, even if it didn't work out how you wanted it to. If every step that you've taken this year, even if it was chipping away at something, even if it was just making it through, that is progress. And just be kind to yourself and be loving to yourself and be mindful of how you speak to yourself as you keep moving through this year. And speak to yourself better. You owe it to yourself to speak to yourself with kindness, with love, even on the days where you don't feel like it, even on the days where it's hard to show up. Just say, I'm going to try. And even if you don't feel like trying, I encourage you to try. You will be okay. You will be okay. And you will make it. You will make it. And find you some accountability partners and just keep celebrating. Keep celebrating you. Keep celebrating where you're going, and give yourself some grace, especially with the things that didn't work out. Give yourself some grace because you will get there. It's just a matter of time. And yeah, write it down, y'all. Let me know if there's anything that, just let me know, like, what's y'all's goals? Not even just goals, but like, well, I mean, stuff that you set out to do is goals too, but excuse me. But just let me know how y'all's year's going. I hope it's going well. I hope that you're continuing to try. I hope that you're continuing to show up. I hope you're continuing to just be. And I pray that the rest of this year will be greater than the first half, will be better than the first half, will be more beautiful than the first half. Not to disacknowledge, not to, Jada, can you find the word? Not to what, y'all? Not to downplay, best one I can think of right now, not to downplay what was done in the first half, but know that the second half can be just as beautiful, and you have the ability to make it better. And I pray that it'll be better for y'all. And so I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. I'll be back. I'll be back, y'all. I'll be back. And I will catch y'all. Wait, pause. Find it, Jada. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for listening. I care about y'all. Show up and try. Show up and try, because showing up and trying will turn to showing up and doing. I love y'all. I thank y'all. And I will see y'all in the next episode. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Mindful Moments. I want y'all to remember this. Take it one step at a time. Know that you're capable. Know that you're worth it. Be intentional and know that everything you need to accomplish the things you want is already inside of you. But look, y'all, the podcast doesn't end here, okay? Be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at O_Jada. That's O with 3 H's _JADA. You can see the visuals from past episodes and segments, and maybe even some teasers for upcoming episodes. And be sure to follow and like Mindful Moments on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and even Google Podcasts. And as you go through your day, remember to be mindful of today in hopes for a better tomorrow. I'll see you in the next episode.